they were really good.
They were really strong, yeah. I mean, given that, like, she lost to Giga at Heat Wave last year, and then at Genesis beat him in both the Hodan Mirror and in Hodan Hill.
Mm-hmm.
It says a lot because she buckles down and she's really willing to commit.
Almost
to
beat Cake at that tournament too. I think
that's,
it was game 5 with Cake.
That's true. Yeah, it was game 5 with Cake. Oh my God.
Speaking of Hodan, we are not done with Hodan versus air characters right now because we got Qunne and Sparx coming up next, and oh man.
Okay, let's talk about Sparx for a second.
Yeah.
Because Sparx had a fantastic tournament.
Sparx has had a really season. A really season.
I think people are saying that it's sort of the return of like top 10 players.
It is. So the thing about Sparx this season is when he's playing in region, which is like WYL, like the mid or Wisconsin, Illinois, and then the Midwest, and even just the Midwest in general. They don't always do so hot. I guess Riptide technically most people call it Midwest.
To a degree, yeah, it is sort of like a Midwest, but it is.
He did do well there, but
he did really well there, yeah.
Out of state this season. Oh man, this has been an incredible tournament. Whenever Sparx has been able to make it out, we had 7th at Riptide, which is like that's always the most active event of the year.
Yeah, usually the biggest one. If it's not Heat Wave, it's usually Riptide.
It is Riptide now.
Oh, it is.
Just in terms of sheer numbers, it is the biggest. Heat Wave is technically like it's more densely packed with top players.
Yeah, you're right.
But Riptide gets a lot. Like Riptide gets the biggest numbers and still similar skill. The thing about it is, what was I gonna say? Yeah, Genesis is always a tournament that matters the most, always the most highly weighted, but only slightly. But then Sparx, 7th at Riptide, 2nd at Taps with like numerous top 10 wins.
Yeah, beating Cheesy, beating ZB, beating Penguin.
And then the dichotomy here has been in the smaller in-region events, Sparx has not done too hot, but at these bigger out-of-region events, he's done really well. So this is going to be an interesting tournament, because if he can do well here, I think that will really make up for a lot of the weaker showings he's had in
region. I mean, even the Midwest, given how the tournaments are usually ranked, the lower end stuff, even if you don't do super great,
it's easier to overlook that, and Sparx has a lot of tournaments. I know at the very least he also has 3rd at the Reef, which is one of the online GRL premieres. So he's got a good season.
Yeah, and he's got multiple wins on Cheesy, who's looking borderline like a top 5 player.
Yeah.
But on the other side of the coin, we have Qunne.
Yeah, this has been the first season that he's actually been competing and already making a huge name for himself, getting
was it, I think 25th or
25th at Riptide.
Yeah, which is that's a good placing for like your first in-person.
He's been a monster at a lot of the online events, I think. Got like 9th at the July Major.
And I think he also
13th at the Reef.
13th at the Reef.
Lost to Omar, which was a very valid loss.
Yeah, Omar's been making a showing too, but as we get into it, game 1 starting on the AZ Classic again with Merchant Port. And okay, I need to know, since you are an Ellie player, what do you think of Ellie Hodan?
It's like painful.
How does for who?
Ellie. I think Ellie just kind of like I have a hot take about Ellie, which is that she loses most matchups in the game, like the majority, over half. But because she's Eliana, she can still win.
Yeah, she's got the clutch factor, so to speak.
Yeah,
she can always pull out a 0 to death out of nowhere if she really needs to. If she's playing hot, she can seem like an unstoppable force, and you really kind of need to be able to 0 to death her back.
What makes Ellie Hodan what makes Ellie Hodan good is you can obviously combo him really, really well, and obviously he combos you well as well. But Ellie has a better recovery, so I think the disadvantage is a net positive for her. Yeah. The issue is that Hodan is a character that thrives off of anti-airs and air-to-airs, and Ellie is a character who wins neutral by jumping at you.
Oh, that's kind of true. You do kind of have to commit to jump missile or even ground missiles. Just kind of force them to jump.
I think over time, especially with the recent nerfs, like Ellie's definitely had to. Like, Ellie players have had to improve their ground game a ton, and Sparx is a player who I know has told me he feels he's done that excellently, and that will help a lot in a matchup like Hodan, where what he wants you to do is jump at him, so he can up air you or fair you or whatever.
Do that, yeah, do all sorts into up B, yeah. I mean, in this case, like, Sparx has always been one of the proprietors of, like, missiles, one of the best projectiles, if not the best projectile in the game, just because of what it can do for Eliana, but what it forces your opponent to do. In terms of getting them to jump, getting them to maybe overcommit to an option, or just tank the hit so it's a free percent. Especially when they have mine. Oh my god, this combo right now. 70 off the other side, around the world.
Yeah, that was crazy. Qunne throwing the Sweat Spirit and then upping into it while still traveling.
Yeah, that's something we're seeing more. It's like Hodans are getting a little more creative with those Sweat Scrolls. Alright, up B's in again, but not getting to have any. Oh no, still has his air dodge. I lie. Makes it back, but sent right back on stage by the forward strong.
Yeah.
Oh no! was terrifying.
That was rough. But thankfully, Sparx still living with well over a stock lead, and the Rocket Fist F strong, goofy little confirm there.
Yeah, that is a cheeky little setup. If you aren't ready for it, detect the Rocket Fist or the air dodge through it, you just kind of get whacked by it.
It's pretty consistent confirm, honestly.
Yeah, it's actually really surprising how often you can hit that.
Yeah.
It's just hitting the Rocket Fist.
Rocket Fist is just such a goofy move. It's like it makes everything else after it feel comedic. I've been hit by like Rocket Fist F strong before.
God, that sounds horrible.
That happened in a ping check.
Oh,
Danuva did that to me in a ping check. That's what it was.
That's
and I'm
so
like, why are you doing this? We're ping checking.
That was a Danuva, I guess. All right, game 2 gonna be on Treetop, a lot smaller of a stage. I can kind of see the logic behind Qunne's pick. It's a good way to keep Ellie from retreating away from you and trying to play the missile game. But the onus is on you to still approach at the end of the day. You still have to make Ellie regret, not approaching.
And I think, Qunne, we didn't see a lot of it that game, to be honest. But he really likes to just go hang out in the top blaster, and that's kind of what he's infamous for. And with that high plat, the stage is going to let you do that fairly well. There's are going to be a little predictable where you're starting that from a lot of the time.
Yeah, oh, this is big. Uppy, yes, but not the strong.
Yeah.
If it was strong Uppy, it would have killed.
The charge sour spot. There's so many individual hitboxes on that move.
The EX Uppy, the EX up tilt almost killing is kind of insane. Oh no, and you are dead at 75 because you did not DI in.
Yeah, that was some questionable DI from Qunne. I don't know if he was trying to count on like a, holding the heat or whatever, but
maybe, but like
it's really risky to do that if the Ellie hasn't already shown their hand that they're going to do that. Because a lot of Ellies just won't do it almost ever.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you kind of assume that they're going to be shooting you outwards because they want to try and go for the missile into the nair, or maybe or just nair carries off the side.
Yeah, it's like if you don't get a follow-up off of missile with heat, they're still in a really bad spot. If you don't get a follow-up off of holding heat up tilt, you get nothing.
Yeah, and right now, an unfortunate SD. Sparx just applying so much pressure on off stage, just throwing out forward strong hitboxes, throwing out missiles to kind of delete some of these sweat swirls too. But he's not really getting the chance to set up, and an unfortunate SD is gonna give Sparx game number 2.
I mean, we're trying to like flip it or something, but
might have been trying to do like a little B reverse or something, B reverse sweat swirl, but gets the B reverse down B instead. And unfortunately, that is kind of big. If your tech game is not on point, it might force you to reconsider simplifying down your game, but also makes you second guess yourself a little bit,
Yeah, I mean, it just feels bad going down 2-0 like this.
Yeah, exactly. Having like a pretty strong showing the first game, only to kind of have an unfortunate SD the second go around.
Yeah.
It's never something you want to see happen, but it doesn't seem like Qunne's letting that affect him at all right now.
Yeah, just gotta do your best to play with confidence. That's a huge skill in fighting games in general.
It is, yeah, absolutely right. From trad fighters to plat fighters, you have to be able to play with with a sense of confidence and also a sense of you are going to take something away from the set at the end of the day. Oh, great F tilt, but Sparx ready immediately with that waveland tech. Another F tilt just gonna put Sparx off stage again. 158.
Yeah, and we're seeing a really good repeat there. And when Sparx has to eject, it is hard to find a spot to eject right there. Pretty much everywhere you land, Podonker's running you an uppy, and that's when you stop.
Yeah, and for the first time in this game, Qunne has a lead.
Yeah, first time in this set even. So we're gonna see what he's able to do with the lead because Qunne is not afraid to play lane win game.
You mean, I was about to say, like, we were seeing some of the stalling out there. Sparx immediately saying, no, if you stall out there, I will try and hit you for it.
Yeah, I like the character that I think can just kind of shut that down because missile is really, covers a lot of space.
Oh, you got so much distance over there. Just a long jump.
Yeah, I mean, you have a ton of heat, even with Strong's building heat fast. Oh, no.
Unfortunate SD. This has been so, the tale of these last few games has just been, like, very much, maybe nerves and a little bit of over-execution. All right, man, just to get out of that situation there, that down tilt could have led to a big combo. Oh, yeah, it doesn't get the charge up either.
Yeah, well, I think that was charged. It's just sour spotted, so it's not really going to send you very far.
Oh, yeah.
Banked on that. He banked on the mine, but dropped it a little bit too early. Doesn't quite kill, but still keeping Qunne in a terrible spot. And there you go, not able to hold out hard enough.
Yeah, and right there, just 3 up hits is all it took. And that last parry hit on the mine did not put Sparx in the parry stun.
It won't, no.
No, yeah, it doesn't do it. It is technically considered a projectile.
Rocket Fist is, I think, the only thing she has extended Power Stone on. Just Rocket Fist.
Yeah, and unfortunately, not the best.
up B.
Yeah, up B too. Yeah, that is true. Unfortunately, tough spot to DI there for Sparx. Because when you're that close to the blast zone, you don't want to really hold super hard out, but you also don't really want to hold in either. But right now, it's just been hard for Qunne to keep Sparx off stage. Ooh. Sparx's recoveries have been so tricky.
Yeah, Sparx is a lot more bold with his recoveries than other Ellies.
Oh, that Rocket Fist almost caught the tornado. And again, that comes down to Sparx being willing to commit to throwing a button off stage, and Rocket Fist is going to end the set.
Yep, just aiming it right down at Qunne, and another Houdon falling to the air character.
Yep, in a 3-0 fashion as well, no less. Qunne going down to the losers bracket, Sparx advancing to top 32 winner side.
Yeah, he is. So, yeah, Houdon kind of,
Houdon kind of feels a little bit, yeah.
The Houdons are here today, right? We got like all of them, all the notable ones. Giga with the secondary Houdon at least, and then obviously Plushie and Qunne we just saw, and that's pretty much all of the big Houdon names right now.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting.
Bowler is good when he plays, but he plays very infrequently.
Yeah, Bowler's another really good.
Oh, and we have Scooby. That's the Houdon that almost beat ZB that one time.
Oh, that's right. I heard about Scooby.
Yeah, I think that was at
Scooby to actually switch off character.
I think that was at like Riptide or an All Might. No, it was at Riptide, wasn't it?
I believe it was at Riptide. It was either Riptide or Genesis.
No ZB, unfortunatezly.
Yeah, no easy. Oh yeah, ZB isn't here.
He was signed up, but he's not here.